TRW. I'm going to be looking at the Battle of Dreux, 1562, a battle from the first edition of Avec, Infini, Regret. Definitely have some update from last time. Well, I figured it out. Or I figured out two things for sure, which I think does explain my frustration with Avec, Honneur et Panache. But I want to make it very clear that while that rule, that particular terrain rule, terrain effects rule, really was very frustrating in the last video, the series is still great. It is still it's still in a top list for me of all war games I've tried. So I want to make that clear up front. However, so I'm going to go through how I approached this and what's happened, because, well, I was actually ready to pack up the game and move on to something else. Now that's not because it's not playable, it certainly is, but I really wanted to know what the designers were thinking, giving what looked like the reverse terrain effects. Was I missing something? Yeah. So, still a great game. It comes through. Always fun to play. I think it even comes through in the videos. I said before, and I'll say it again, I still think it's a true high point in wargame design. So again, this is in order. First I was going to pack it up. Then I went online and I searched, and I actually took a look at some French language wargaming sites, translated the text. And it's funny because a reference to that terrain rule was mentioned, but not that it was a problem. That was interesting. So I didn't get any resolution there. Okay. Then, and this is one of those situations where I can't even explain what happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe, I don't even know what happened. So I dug out the original Avec, Infini, Regret, this one here. And sure enough, oh wait, that's point number two that became clear to me. The first point that became clear is that the problem was in the original French, but I didn't explain this in the last video, I believe. I did not. It was the original French rule appeared to be trying to be way too succinct. Succinct rules are great, but not when they lead to confusion. So I will say again, I think the French rule was trying to be way too concise, to the point of being hard to understand, to put it mildly. Okay, that was the first thing that became clear. So it's not like there was a clear French rule originally that I had found yet. Okay. Then the second thing is, right when I was just about to give up on this completely and move on, and by that I mean I would have continued searching in French language gaming sites for a reference to this problem, but I was looking at the old AIR rules, and I'm going to show exactly what I'm talking about. I guess before that, I'm going to show what we're going to be looking at now. Looks great. So this is AIR Battle of Dreux, 1562. So my idea with this was the reason this is Dreux set up 1562. We've got a let me get the armies right. I think it's Royal and Huguenot, Royalist and Protestant. Saint Andre. Yeah, so yeah, Royal Army in blue here. Just 2 wings, 2 large wings. This is a major wing here under Montmorency here. I gave him a charge order. Well, I'll talk about the orders in a minute. Over here is Saint Andre with a wing over here, already angled against the Huguenot or Protestant left flank. Over here we have what looks like quite a bit smaller Protestant army. Also 2 wings, 2 commanders. We have El Conde here on the Protestant left, and we have Coligny here on the Protestant right. Now, right away, this battle is going to be interesting. Terrain should not be a major issue, other than 3 villages. There are some slopes, but the slopes are away from the center of the battlefield. But more importantly, we're going to get a lot of experience with double units. And a lot of double units for a battle. We got 4 Protestant double units, and we've got 11 on the royal side. So that should be good. Lots of lances too, lots. So all G. I think that's gendarme, but I should be using the full names because it's interesting. Gendarmes, yeah. So all G cavalry units like this, gendarme, and there are G or gendarme units on both sides. They all set up with a lances marker. So we're going to have a lot of practice with lances. Let's see. That's about it. Actually, there are some special rules. Windmill and roads of no effect, and secession within the triumvirate. We'll talk about that later. Let's get back to the rules problem. So this is back at AIR1. Yeah, I went back here. Basically, why am I back here? Because I thought I would retrace my steps back to the earliest version of the design that appeared to be all right, rules-wise, especially with respect to these terrain effects issues. And this is what I found. So this is what I'm going with. So that's why I'm back here. I think this, this battle should not have the terrain issue at all. Okay, so let me explain what I found when I looked. Okay, so I already packed up AHP, but this is gonna refresh my thinking about the problem anyways. This is the player aid card from AIR Volume 2, and interestingly, the problem is already present, but it's only halfway. It's kind of interesting. Slope. This is exactly what we were looking at before. Oh, no. We were looking at dunes. But then we were looking at slopes too, and slopes had the problem in AHP as well. But the problem was more pronounced with the dunes terrain. But right here, slope, right here. It's the problem. A unit at the top of a slope has a +1 bonus in melee and defense. This is exactly what I explained in detail in the last video. I'm not going to go over it again, obviously, but this is the same problem. This again is backwards. Now, when you come down here to village is similar in effects to the dunes. Similar. Cavalry loses a morale level. Yes, same as dunes. No charge bonus. Same as dunes. Here it is. A unit in this type of hex this is bad wording, of course, but inflicts a -2 die roll modifier, DRM, for fire on his opponent. That means that a defender in a village has the benefit of a -2 die roll modifier which is applied to the attacker, obviously, because it's the firer who rolls, not the defender, has a -2 benefit, because -2 makes it harder to hit. This is exactly the reverse of what is an AHP. This is correct, as far as I understand it. -2 for fire. And then we have the same thing to a unit in defense, and this type of hex benefits from a -2 DRM in melee, which again, this is correct. -1, because the attacker is rolling, a -1 DRM is going to bring the casualties for the defender down, which is correct. So here we have a split. This is correct, this is wrong, as far as I can tell. Now, and stream ditch, by the way, this is correct as well. Right, yeah, you're behind a stream or a ditch. The attacker in melee is going to have a -1, which is correct. Now, I'm going to flip this over and look at the AIR player aid card for volume 1. So lo and behold, I finally find it all right. This is the player aid card for AIR 1, which is what we're going to play, which is good. This is all correct. Slope. We're back to a slope. So we've had slope in like almost every iteration of the AIR games. And this is correct. A unit in defense at the top of a slope benefits from a -1 DRM in melee. That is exactly correct. And in AHP, it says +1. All right, and then village, this is correct. -2 for fire, into it. -1 in melee, into it. This is all correct. And by the way, it all makes sense. Woods and fence. The firer has a -1 against a defender behind or in this type of terrain. This is all correct. So I can't explain it, but it's like as this went through iterations, there was a transcribing or some type of error. And I already checked. The mechanics haven't changed. But somewhere along the way, there was a transcribing error. And it even goes in steps, right? This is all correct in AIR 1. You go to AIR 2, and its slope is wrong. And then you get to AHP, and it's all wrong. And I just cannot understand how I had to find this. And I really think that Victis should pay me for this, for finding these. I'm kidding.